Time for another video, time for more money, time for me to get rich, time to get rich, time for long form content. Welcome back again to another video, man. This time we got long form content. We do another ranked video like we did last time, you know. This time we do jazz. I think jazz is very cool. So yeah. We set some rules this time as well. You know, no team maker this time around. And yeah, that's really about it. Let's begin. This is gonna be a long video. Time for money. The first one on the list is Max Roach. Max Roach is a jazz drummer who worked with a lot of artists. You know, with a lot of jazz musicians. I remember he worked with Clifford Brown and a few other artists. You know, he had a very good few selection of albums with fellow jazz artist Clifford Brown, and I think he did a very good job on those. You know, he played the drums very well on those, and they're very good. You know, bop albums, like I think like hard bop album. You know, you got the Clifford and Brown Incorporated, Clifford and Brown, Study and Brown, Study and Brown. Those are very good. You know, I think it's crazy that, you know, you need Clifford Brown name to sell album, but I mean, you know, they're still good enough. But like, it's kind of crazy, man. But I give him the A tier. I think he's very solid. Next one is Charles Mingus. Charles Mingus is a jazz bassist who was born something in 19 something. Doesn't really matter. You know, he has found critical success, you know, having the #1 rated jazz album on Retro Music, which I think is very funny because, you know, Retro Music is my whole source. I know, other from that, you know, Charles Mingus, you know, he had some good albums, but I really don't like him that much. I think the Black Saint and the Sinner Lady, it is good. I just don't really think it's as good as people say it is. I personally think that Let the Children, I think it was Sing, is better. It's way more just like flowing. It's just a better sounding in my opinion. And you know, Charles Mingus even had a better performance than. But like as a bassist, I don't think he's the best jazz bassist. I think he can be very creative, and I think he has proven that. But like overall, I think he's good. I don't think he's great. I think he's good. I give him the B tier. I think he got in the way. Let him out. Can't let him talk about. I don't know, man. This guy, the man, he really doesn't understand, you know, jazz. So I think it's time that I step up. Someone who actually does listen to jazz, not him. He's just a hip hop head. I don't know why he's even doing this video. It's not like he's gonna get any views from it. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm just here to talk about one of my favorite jazz artists. And unfortunately, the next one on the list, Miles Davis. I think jazz would be very different without Miles Davis. You know, especially after the post bebop era of the jazz, which is kind of where he started shining and showing his potential, and you know, even exceeding that. You know, with you know, forming cool jazz and getting into the model jazz and stuff like that. You know, he even had tipped his toes and, you know, even influenced other genres in jazz like free jazz or jazz fusion, which he also did a lot of stuff of. I think he's a very interesting jazz artist, just like in general. I think he really has a very interesting you know, like just like a discography in general. You know, he's one of the he's cited as the best for a reason. You know, you got like albums like Kind of Blue, Milestones, Around About Midnight, even like stuff like Bitches Brew, Get Up With It, Tribute to Jack Johnson. And though I don't really like the later like 70s stuff, but I still appreciate, like, In the Silent Way, as you know, it is one of the most influential Miles Davis albums as well. I think he did a really good job on that one, even if I don't really like the stuff to come later. So I don't really think that I don't think it's really surprised that I'm gonna put Miles Davis on the S tier. He's just like one of the best jazz artists to kind of ever do jazz. You know, bringing, you know, to be fair, he brought it into the mainstream. The next one on the list is Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong, you know, he make swing music. You know, one of the earliest jazz musicians. He was a very good trumpeter and vocalist. You know, he was very known for those things. Especially within the swing era. I think he was very good. Though I really can't say any albums. I've just listened to his music through, collaborations or just singles. But what I've heard, I really like. I think he's very good. I give him the A tier, just so you know. And I don't really got more to say about him than I really like him, and I think he's very nice. I think he's very, very nice. Very nice early jazz musician. Up and coming dog shit. We got Billie Holiday. I don't really like this person. I don't like vocal jazz, and she's not very fun to me to listen to. I don't really like vocal jazz. I think it's very mid, and I don't think she did a very good job of it. But you know what? Whatever. I don't really like her. She suck. I really don't like her, man. I don't like her, man. So I give her the F tier. Fuck Billie Holiday, and fuck you if you like her. Fuck you. Next one on the list is Cannonball Adderley. I don't know. I think he's a very good saxophone player. I remember him with his work with Miles Davis. I think he did a lot of good stuff there. I can't say I remember him from much more than that. From what I heard, he was a very good saxophone player. I think he's very nice, and I appreciate his work. I give him the A tier because I think he's just solid. From what I've heard, he's pretty solid, but I don't know about if he has like any solo works. No, not solo works. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I don't know. So I give him like the A tier. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know much about him than that. I think he very good when he was with Miles Davis. The next one is Chet Baker. I don't hate Chet Baker. I don't know. I'm doing reaction. I like him. I think he's very nice, but I don't really give a shit about his music. But I think that's fine because he's not that important to me. I like his. I like the dynamic of his music. I think he really does bring a nice dynamic to the music, especially within the cool jazz. And I think for that I give him praise. I think the Chet Baker sings is pretty decent, but it's nothing like I say is like, oh, I remember this. No, I don't. But I think for what he did and what he was, I think it was pretty good. So I give him the B tier. Next one on the list is another early jazz artist who also was a swing. I think him and Louis Armstrong work a lot together. We got Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington was a very nice jazz pianist. I think he really did. He did a lot of cool stuff. He was very different from a lot of other jazz people, and I think that's really cool. He kind of brought his own take on different stuff, and that's why I really appreciate him. I appreciate him a lot. What I like with Duke Ellington is that he did that one collab with John Coltrane, and I was wrong. It's not fucking Louis Armstrong. Why would he ever do collab John Coltrane? It was Duke Ellington, and that John Coltrane collab, it's bussin'. You could say it's bussin'. I like it. He just worked, even like by himself, he's pretty good. I really like the Caravan he did that Caravan take. It's very nice. It took me some time to get it, but I really appreciate it. And I think it's very solid. I think without Duke Ellington, we'd be in a very different jazz piano era. Yeah, A tier. Get the fuck away from me, man. Next one on the list is Dizzy Gillespie, bitch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I actually think he's very cool. Dizzy early did a lot of important stuff. He was one of the inventors of the bebop genre that came in the 40s and the 50s, and I think he plays a very important role in that as as the biggest trumpet player of that time era. Apart from saxophone goat Charlie Parker, but it doesn't matter. We're not talking about Charlie Parker. We're talking about Dizzy. I think from I don't really know Dizzy that well. I know he played on some good records, and I know Charlie Parker and they play on some records together. and for that I really do appreciate both of them. I know that Disney can be very creative and pretty interesting, but I just don't find them that memorable, to be honest. But I like, from what I've seen, I appreciate it, but I don't really give a shit, to be honest. I don't really give a shit. Anyway, he gets the B tier from me, and yeah. The next one on the list is John Coltrane. I really like John Coltrane. I think he is a very important jazz figure. Without him, there would be a lot of different stuff. I keep saying that, and it's starting to get a cliche, especially thanks to Guy the Man. It doesn't really bother me though. But I really think that John Coltrane is really, really sick, and I think his collaboration works and his solo projects are really good. I'm a big fan of Giant Steps, Take the Blue Train. I think it was. I don't remember honestly. But I love Supreme. Even like his collaborative stuff. He was on the most important jazz album of all time, right there, A Kinda Blue, which I praise a lot because it is the best jazz. It is one of the best jazz albums, and it's one of the most accessible ones as well. So it's really nice. But we're not talking about Giants. We're not talking about Kind of Blue. We're talking about John Coltrane, and I think it does take time to get into him because his style of playing can be a bit weird. But I don't really think that's a problem. For me personally, I think he is a very good and very talented saxophone player, writer, music writer. I think overall he's just really good. It is unfortunate when he passed and how he passed. And I'd love to see a lot more with him, especially in the later years. But sometimes you can't get that. But what we got, it was still really good. So I really do appreciate John Coltrane, and I do really appreciate his work that he left behind for us.
It's the GOAT, KG! I love KG. He's the best jazz musician of all time. I love how he plays the soprano sax. I don't care whatever you say. I think he's the best. There is no one that ever competes with him. He is the best. He is the GOAT. I don't know why we even make a tier list in the first place. We got S tier right here. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. I don't know why there's even S tier. I didn't even put Miles Davis or John Coltrane here. I don't know who did. I don't really care. But I know KG, he's the best. The way he plays saxophone, the soprano, very good. His playing is very good. Smooth jazz is the best. The best. Either way, even to solidify it, he played on Jesus is King, Kanye album, the one song, I think it was like that one. I don't remember what it's called. It was like Use This Gospel or something. I don't remember. No, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. He is the best. The best. The best in the business. The best. What's up with these forgettable ass jazz people? Next one is saxophone player Sonny Rollins. I know Sonny Rollins for playing with Clifford Brown, and I think that's about it. I think he also played with Miles Davis. Let me check. I think I'm just gonna give it a check. It doesn't matter to give it a check. I don't know. I make the video one guy, give me money. We got Cannonball Adderley. Bill Evans. You went got John Coltrane. Very cool. I don't not see no. I see no. I don't know. He doesn't seem to be on any of these records. Don't follow me, you motherfucker. Slaves to do it for me. My slaves. Not slaves, I mean, they work for me. I give Sonny Rollins the B tier. He cool. I don't know. Next on the list is gonna get me killed from jazz fans. We got Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra is a jazz musician and vocalist. He is very known for his vocal performances and them being very good. I will never disagree with that because his vocal performances are great. I just don't really care about the guy. I think there's some good songs and he really has a really good voice with it, but like I don't know. I just don't really appreciate his work. I just don't think it's like that great. It's pretty simple jazz to me. It feels like pop jazz, and my thoughts on pop are that it's cringe, but there's like one good pop album, but it's not the new one. What is it called, like Brat? That one's okay. Doesn't matter. I give Frank Sinatra the C tier. Next one is on the list is Thelonious Monk. Thelonious Monk is like a goat. He do a lot of cool stuff. One of the things I really like about this guy is his ragtime album. I think that's sick. To go back to the jazz roots is awesome. To give you some information, Thelonious Monk is a jazz pianist who played a lot of different genres. I think he did post bop, hard bop, and cool jazz, modal jazz, those type of things. The basics of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Doesn't really, doesn't really matter though. But overall, I think he's awesome. I really like his projects. I think he's really cool, and I think you should listen to him. I think you should absolutely give this beautiful man a good listen. The next one kind of bring one of my least favorite jazz eras of all time, but I still really like him. Ornette Coleman. Ornette Coleman is a jazz saxophone player who got his popularity from basically birthing the free jazz genre, which would later be picked up by people like John Coltrane and Miles Davis and Pharoah Sanders. He is the one who kind of started that, and for that I think he's really cool. I think the Shape of Jazz to Come is a really good album. That's like the only one I've listened from him, and I thought it was really fun, and I appreciate it a lot. And I think with that, it's not an album I always remember. It's not an album that I always look back at, and I don't think his playing is like that great to me. But I still think he's very good, and he deserves a lot of praise, even if I personally don't appreciate his work that much. Don't worry about it. I give him B tier. Yeah, he cool. He gets my respect. Is he a chicken? I don't know. Chick Corea. We got Chick Corea. I like him. I also don't like him at the same time. So I don't know what to say. I think I appreciate his work with Mr. Miles Davis. I don't really like his work with Miles Davis. I don't really like Witches Brew. I think it is not good. I think if you like it, you are a bad person. I said it. I think you're a terrible person. I'm looking at you, Steamy Zones. Either way, I think if you like that album, you're bad. But I think his solo projects are really fun to listen to. I really like them, and I think they're really fun. Even though I haven't listened to them too much, but that's my problem. Because if he was just solo projects, I'd give him easily the A tier. But since he's on Bitches Brew, I gotta give it B, man.
God damn, is he using a long time on the toilet? And I did put laxatives in this food, but I had to take over, I love jazz. Either way, I hope he's fine. I hope he's fine. Either way, we got Herbie Hancock, another really good jazz pianist this time. I think he is one of my favorites because how like creative he was, and he is. He's not dead. Fortunately, he's not dead. He was he's one of the most creative ones. You know, I really like his earlier stuff. You know, Empyrean Isles, Maiden Voyage. They're really good. I think they're great. But I really, really like the Headhunters and Thrust. I think those are really good funk projects and jazz fusion projects, and I think they're really fun to listen to, and I enjoyed them. I don't really like Sexton. I don't think it's that good. It's like to me, it's kind of like the kind of like the bitches brew of Miles, not Miles Davis, of Herbie Hancock. But I don't know if I don't remember if he was on Bitches Brew. I don't remember if Herbie was on that. Doesn't really matter. But I think like all around, he is a really creative and a really good writer. So like for that I really appreciate him, and he also has like a really good legacy. You know, he also played with Miles Davis on a lot of good albums. Like it's kind of funny, you know, most of these S tiers are just people who have played with Miles Davis. It kind of shows how good Miles Davis had, like he had for other people. And like, yeah, and like these people, they're great. Like, so I think Herbie Hancock is another S tier for me. But yeah, I don't really got more to say than I really like Herbie Hancock, and it's good to see, you know, for once, a jazz legend that is actually alive, which I'm really thankful for, actually. Next one on the list is Charlie Parker, another jazz legend in my eyes. You know, he's the one who changed jazz forever. I keep saying that, but that's true. He did a bebop era onto us, and he became the most prominent figure in it, apart from Dizzy Gillespie. But that doesn't really matter, because, you know, Charlie Parker still held his own, and in my opinion is one of my favorite saxophone players of all time. I really like the bebop style that he had, or like it was kind of disorient, like it was kind of dissonant, but not at the same time. It really was nice, and especially some of the jazz standards he wrote were really good, like DOMi. I also think some of his albums are actually pretty good. Like, I think Swedish Snaps, The Genius of Charlie Parker is pretty good. Also, I think all around he's just really good. I really appreciate Charlie Parker and his work, and he was also another one who played with Miles Davis, this time being kind of his mentor, before, you know, Miles Davis built his own career and his own legacy from Charlie Parker. But I still think Charlie Parker gets an S tier for me. He's one of the most important jazz legends, and he's a big part of my heart.
We got Wes Montgomery on the list. Very good guitarist, very good jazz guitarist. I like him a lot. He got the thumbing technique, not the picking technique. That's all I can really say about him. Outside of that, I think he's very good. I don't got a lot to say about this guy. I think he's very good. I haven't listened to more than a few songs, but from what I heard, I think it's a very good impression of him. I think he peak, not peak, because that goes to KDG. Of course, if you say anything in the comments, I will fight you. That's how it is. But no, I give him the A tier. He's very good. I don't got no more to say about this guy. The next one on the list is the Superior bassist, where we got Jaco Pastorius, the better bassist than Charles Mingus. I think Jaco Pastorius is one of my favorite bassists of all time. Yeah, you heard me. He kind of like the white Jimi Hendrix, but for jazz and bass instead. Kind of. Not really. Not really at all, actually. But that doesn't matter. I think he very good. The Jaco Pastorius debut album is very bussin'. I like it a lot. I think Broadway Blues is also pretty good. You know, you got the Chicken, and that one's pretty good. You got also, like I said, the whole debut album. You got some other stuff that's pretty cool. I mean, he's all around one of the best bassists, and most bassists will tell you he is the best, and and that they love him, me included. I don't play music myself. I don't got no instrument, but he very good. Next one on the list is Lee Morgan. Lee Morgan is a jazz trumpet player. I know him from Sidewinder, and that's really all I know him from. The Sidewinder. I think that's a good album, and I think he really proved to be good. He's one of the people influenced by Clifford Brown before he died, unfortunately. But he very good, and I really like him. I appreciate him. But I have one of my biggest complaints with this is with a lot of the artists R&B. I don't think he's that memorable to me. But what I heard from like he's technical good, and he has very good tone to him. He has some good dynamic. He got some good improvisation, and he's very good. But overall, I don't really think he's the most memorable bassist no. Motherfucker! I want to say trumpet player. I don't think he's the most memorable trumpet player of all time. But still good. B tier. The next on the list might be like the third white guy here, which I think is cool, diversity. Next on the list is actually a very cool tenor saxophone player, Stan Getz. I really like Stan Getz. I really like his album with Juan Gilberto. I think that's how you say it. Most likely not. I'm not from Brazil, but that Gilberto and Getz album very good bossa nova and very good mixing of jazz. Some more Northern American jazz. Yeah, I think so. He very good. I haven't listened to more than that because that's kind of like the album he's known for. If you look at Reach Your Music, that album is like on the top 10, and I think Anthony Fantano might like it. I don't know. It's not very easy to appreciate good music, but from what I know, this album, Stan Getz very good, and his one album, pretty good. So that's why I give him the B tier. Next one on the list is Alice Coltrane. I think Alice Coltrane is just fine. I got nothing more to say. I don't really like the one album that has like the number 3 or that has like number 4 or number 5 on the Archie Music Jazz chart. I don't really like that one. I think it's just too much for me, and that just kind of comes down to also me not really enjoying Pharoah Sanders that much. But apart from that, Alice Coltrane is just fine. I really have nothing to say than C tier. Next one on the list is Pharoah Sanders. I don't like him that much. I think he's okay. I don't really like Karma. I don't really enjoy the album much. I think it's okay. Not particularly anything I like. I struggle to say anything other than that he's a C tier, and I don't really enjoy him that much. He's just fine. I don't really like Karma, and I really don't like Avant-Garde Jazz that much in my opinion. I think it's just kind of mid. But at least that last song on that album is kind of good. But I want to get to something interesting, man! Finally, something interesting as well. We get Art Blakey. Art Blakey is very good. He's one of my favorite jazz drummers of all time. He's a very good one too. He made the Art Blakey in the Jazz Messengers. He got the Moanin' album. That one's pretty good. I think it's very nice. I think he did a good job on it. I overall really like him, but I need to listen to more of him. I know he has from what I know from Retro Music, I know that he has a lot of good albums that I have yet to listen to, and I really need to listen to. But as right now, I really like him. I really like him. He get the A tier from me, and nice drumming, man. Piece of shit. Motherfucker thought he's gonna get to do another S tier. He took 4 S tiers from me. I kick him out. I act like I take shit. You believe it too. You're very stupid. He's getting kicked out of the team after this one. Next on the list is Masayoshi Takanaka. We got the first one here to be Japanese, and I think like the second guitarist here. But other than that, I think he's very good. I like him a lot. Seychelles is a perfect 10 out of 10 album to me. Brazilian Skies is pretty good. Insatiable High, very peak. You got the T-Wave, very nice album too. I don't know what to say. This guy got good taste in cars, good taste in guitars, and good taste in music. I really like him. He hits the fields when he needs to, and Seashells is beautiful. I don't know what to say more than I love this man. I give him the S tier. He's just below Kenny G for me, I think. I thought I'd be nice and include some newer jazz artists. We got Kamasi Washington, another jazz saxophone player. I don't know what's with these jazz saxophone players. I have a saxophone right here, and for some reason, but you know, it's 24 karat gold enlisted with diamond pearl rings. You know, this thing is very expensive. I got it from my grandfather, who was a very good jazz player in somewhere in the world. I don't know. Either way, we go further with the tier list. I think Kamasi Washington is just fine. I think the Epic is pretty cool. Fearless Movement also pretty cool, but I don't really care about them that much. I think they're just fine. I don't really care for him as much as I like to with the other jazz artists on this list. But I think he's fine. I think he's just fine. I think for me, he's the same tier as, you know, Pharoah Sanders, Alice Coltrane, and Frank Sinatra. The C. I think he's fine. We seem to have another Japanese. We got the Japanese group CASIOPEA, and they are very known for their jazz fusion, mostly jazz funk. They're very nice. I like them a lot. I think they're very nice. I think the self-titles are very good. The Superflight's pretty nice. I think Live Minch Jams is good, and I think there's one that's called Photographs. I think they're nice. Also forgot to say this band was formed in 50 million BC. That was that's very funny. The band's gone through like a million generations. The latest one just dropped their newest album. I think it's dog shit. I think it's absolute horrendous asshole trash. But I don't really. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the peak CASIOPEA, the first two generations, the peak, and then we got the shit. I'm sorry, man, but they suck these days, man. But I think they get the A tier from me, and go fuck yourself. Next on the list is someone who had very much potential. We got DOMi and JD Beck. They're just kind of below average in my opinion. Their debut album, the Not Tight, it had like 3 good songs on it, and it was the ones including Herbie Hancock, Snoop Dogg, and I think it was Anderson .Paak. That was the only good songs on this album for me. The rest just kind of trash. I don't really like the drumming. I think what really holds this album down for me is the drumming. Jazz is not EDM. Jazz is not EDM! When you understand that, you start to understand why this album kind of bad. The last and final one on this tier list is the Clifford Brown. I love him. Max Roach would not exist without this guy. I'm of course joking, but I mean I really think most of his selling point is this man. He's one of my favorite hard bop trumpet players of all time. I think from a technical skill he is better than Miles Davis, but from a creativity standpoint I think Miles Davis is leagues better. Miles Davis created peak. Either way, I think he's really good. I really don't have any more negatives. You got the Clifford Brown and Max Roach albums, and they're all really good. And that's really all I gotta say. Also, I like to give an honorable mention to my favorite jazz band of all time, Metallica, and my second favorite, which is also JPEG Mafia. I see you later. Next video.